Back at it, Archer's Fork. Not a soul here. I got so excited when I saw that. Don't get me wrong, I like people sometimes, but when you're the only person on a trail, it is an awesome feeling. Got a steak. I got a couple fire starters I just picked up too. Throw a couple of those in there. And then I have a Snickers bar. That's like all the food I brought. It's okay, I like being a little hungry. That's fine. It is about 5:30 right now, so I only have about 2 hours till the sun is down and I won't be able to see anything. Man, I can't believe nobody's out here. It's a Friday night. It's like 50s right now, probably. It's gonna drop to lows of like 20, maybe like 22, 23. But beautiful sun. It's gonna get warmer the rest of the week. How is nobody gonna take advantage of this out here? It's crazy. It's definitely Ohio's little hidden gem, which is a good thing because there's not a lot of parking. All right. Woo! Whole place to myself. This is awesome. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Oh man. I'm so excited right now. Dude, I have like nothing with me on this trip. As I was walking out the door, I'm thinking like, Bryce, like you're bringing nothing. Like, is this borderline dangerous? Probably. Like, am I gonna have enough for comfort? And it's like, I really only have two main objectives on this trip, or two main things that I just want to do. And one, sleep in my new tent, gear test. And number two is just like sit in the woods by myself. Solo backpacking, solo camping, it's definitely not for everybody. I know a lot of people that would probably do it and just hate it and never want to do it again. But man, it holds such a special place in my heart. It just feels like more of an adventure, a little bit more of a risk factor to it. Just puts that little bit of fear in your head, I think, that really attracts me. A year or two ago, I did a solo out of Zaleski, and I was night hiking the first night I walked in for like maybe like 3 or 4 solid minutes on the trail. I stood in the middle of the woods, not even near my campsite, turned off my headlamp and just stood in complete darkness, just kind of looking up at the stars, what I could see through the trees, and just trying to honestly see if I could bring a little bit of that fear out in me. And I really didn't. Like, the first few times you're in the woods at night, it's scary, but it goes away. You get used to everything. I've got a little water crossing here. Actually, I can step right there. I've been walking about 20 minutes so far, and realistically, it's all been downhill. And when the camera wasn't on, I was running like all of it. Oh, this is nice. Somebody dumped a bunch of trash here by the road crossing. I was looking forward to sitting up here, just gathering wood and thinking about nothing else but making a fire and setting up camp. Well, back at the site that I stayed at last September, I believe. Obviously, completely different season, so it was green. Everything's still not bloomed yet here in early spring. It's end of March right now. There's my fire pit. Tons and tons of sticks over here. There's some logs. Oh, there's a huge pile right there too. Yeah, glad I didn't bring the saw. Definitely not needed on this one. No Widowmakers ahead, so I might live to see tomorrow. I'm gonna set the camera down here and start getting set up. There's the tarp for the night. It's the 6 Moon Designs to Shoots. You can see it's all open under there. Big gap in the front where wind can come in and stuff, but I'm okay with that. I didn't bring any cordage to pull these out. I meant to, but I didn't. This side definitely could use one. This is probably the end my head's gonna be at. I might have a piece of cordage somewhere in this stuff. If it's really bad, I could like use a shoestring or something, get real creative with it, but I probably won't bother. I'm not seeing any bugs out here. I do know that like some trail runners that found some ticks on themselves a couple weeks ago already up where I live in Ohio. So I know the ticks are out, I know bugs are out, but I really just want to get one more tarp in this season because it's going to be bug net from here on out the rest of the year probably. There's a freaking mosquito. Right as I say, there's no bugs. There's definitely mosquitoes. Probably still gonna chance it. No bug net. But the pool here, you can see I have the pool angled out towards the front, so I have lots of living space in there. I don't think it's high enough right now. I think I have it too far of an angle. I'm gonna fix that. It's hard to get the tension right on all the corners, I feel like, to get the pole not to like bow one way, and once you get it to bow, it like flips all around. I got it pretty solid right now. Everything's pretty good. Oh man, there are mosquitoes out. Is that gonna be a problem? They might get me a little bit. If it gets too bad, I'll get the bug net out. No biggie. Time to process some wood and get that fire going so I can have a good meal here probably within the hour or so. I'm gonna do no prep work. If I did bring the saw, I would have been able to utilize all this big stuff a lot better. That's for sure. So here's a little tip for fire starting that I do. This might be a given, but for some people, if you have a hard time throwing sticks on without it putting it out, this is what I do basically. I just have like one big stick that I sit, like if I have a fire starter, I sit it in the middle and I put a big stick, beside it, like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 inches like up high. So that way I can take a whole bundle of sticks and just lay it right up on that big stick, and it keeps it up off of the fire starter, lets it breathe, and it just takes way better that way. You don't really need to build like a big teepee or a log cabin structure. As long as you have one side that you have something really high that you can lay all your sticks over just to keep it up off of the flame, then it's usually pretty good. Ooh, not bad. So I got the Voodoo Ranger Ipa. I've been drinking the Imperial IPA, which you guys have let me know that Imperials are a little bit maybe less hoppy or less bitey, which I really like that. This is actually not that bitey either. This is pretty good. This is a 7%. Yeah, I'm not waiting for dinner tonight, cracking this bad boy open now. It's been a while since I've drank actually, because I'm actually not supposed to be drinking right now. I have what is known as Gilbert's syndrome or Gilbert's syndrome, which basically has to do with a excessively high bilirubin count in my blood, which really doesn't do anything. Normally that's a sign of like liver failure or like liver disease or something, but it's very common to have this high bilirubin count where it doesn't really affect anything else, but that's what they think it is. I've been going to a specialist for it. I'm supposed to not drink alcohol for 3 months, go back and get more blood work done. I just got blood work done, so I'm gonna drink a couple more beers here and then give it a legit go to not drink any alcohol, which kind of sucks. Check this out. Coonskin cap, anyone? You guys have no idea how bad I want to keep this. Is that weird if I take it home, wash it, and keep it? First I thought it was a dead raccoon because this part was all mauled up. All you could see was the tail. Reminds me of the hot tub in Tennessee. So the cut tonight, ooh, Angus. I didn't even realize that. It's an Angus porterhouse steak, so not bad. USDA choice beef. I'll take it. Actually brought some steak spice tonight, so this is gonna be good. That reminds me, I didn't bring my normal Mora knife. I have a little cheap spork and my little tiny Mora Eldris knife. So I'm gonna fashion up some like tongs or something so I can maneuver this thing, because I didn't bring a grill or anything. I'm just gonna cook right on the coals just like I pretty much always do, because I'm too lazy to go buy a grill. A lot of things I do is just because I don't feel like ordering stuff. Little things that I really need are like one of those Nyla Flume pack liners, but I just use like trash compactor bags, and they suck. They're really hard to maneuver inside your bag and stuff, and it's really just because I just never felt like ordering one. A lot of the gear I have is gear I've had for a long time, and I don't know, I don't get gear new that often unless people send it to me. I really love this campsite. It's really, really nice. The one thing that sucks is it's pretty much like right on a road, which takes away from the out in the woods feel. But southeastern Ohio, in this section of Wayne National Forest, is about literally as backwoods as you can get for Ohio. I've never actually seen a car drive up and down this road. Pretty much the only people driving these roads are the locals. The sun over here, I can't see it anymore. It's definitely on the other side of the hill over there. It's gonna be getting darker here by the minute. Enjoying the solitude. I actually just went on a little trail run just to kind of get a feel for it out here. Not my favorite running shoes. The speed goats definitely have me spoiled for trail running, but I really want to do a trail run. So I ran about maybe 1/8 of a mile that way, and then came back and ran 1/8 of a mile that way. I'll have to definitely come back down here. It's kind of a long drive to come down and do a run, but honestly it's more worth it than this, just in terms of what I'm doing. So I came down here at 5 p.m. and I'm probably going to be out, I don't know, before noon tomorrow because I get up early. So kind of a long drive for me. It's about 2 hours for an overnighter, but it's worth it. There's places I can go around home. It has a different feel when you're on an actual backpacking loop, especially one that has good campsites. These are pretty deep woods. As deep as you can get for Ohio. I like it. It's worth it. I don't regret it at all. And this campsite, never in my life have I been to a backpacking loop campsite that has this much downed wood. Especially back behind me back here. People could camp here every weekend all summer long and not deplete this area of firewood. This is definitely like the perfect spot if you don't want to process wood, like in the Voodoo Ranger. It's good. It's really good. I like this better than I thought I would. Voodoo Ranger. Ranger? I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's a Ford Ranger. I ain't no stranger. That's my best friend. A real bad. Drive our own car. You don't need no bit. It's steak time. 8:15 right now. Carved up some sticks. Got my coals down here. I got my little sear area started over here, so once it's done I can hold it up over the flames for a few seconds. I don't know how long you're supposed to sear things for. I think I always overdo it, so I'm going to try not to do that. Just a few seconds is what I'm going to do, but I think it's getting close to being done. She's still bloody, but I'm tired of waiting. That's not bad. There's going to be some parts bloodier than others, but that is fine. Oh yeah, look at that. A little too bright. There we go. Here we go. No spork needed. Yeah. Whoop! Whoop! Oh, that's good. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Worth the wait. Not a bad cut for Walmart. You know, food is always like an afterthought. Like today, I literally am ready to walk out the door and I'm like, what am I gonna eat? When it comes to backpacking, I just put no time into thought. I don't really care. I thought about bringing a mountain house or something because I got a bunch of those, but I didn't want to waste it on a trip when I wasn't really like doing a lot of mileage. So I just stopped at Walmart, grabbed one Snicker bar, one beer, and one steak. The Snickers I really got for like a morning snack. I just flung something in my foot. Just a little bit of energy to get out in the morning. Probably gonna make coffee in the morning though, either way. Maybe I'll make coffee and like drink it as I'm walking down the trail. That'd be really cool. About a damn perfect evening right now. The stars are so bright and the moon. It's awesome. I'm gonna shut this camera off and just sit here. That is gonna do it for the night. So I'm gonna crawl in my tent here in a little bit after I hang out. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna film for tonight. So I'm gonna go to bed. Catch you guys in the morning. Let you know how the shelter did. That will do it. So see you guys in the morning. I'm cold. It's a bit chilly. I got 34 degrees out right now. Some frost and stuff on the tarp. Definitely pretty cold. Don't think it got down much colder though. It might have dipped into the 20s, but didn't get as cold as it said it was going to. Common theme in every video I've ever made. I'm gonna get some coffee going right now to warm me up a little bit. So I slept okay. I did have some gear problems. So my Nemo tensor, my sleeping pad, it's kind of letting me down. I woke up in the middle of the night and my hips were on the ground, and I had to blow it up again, and I thought maybe it was just like a temperature change or whatever. Sometimes that happens. You gotta blow them back up again. And I was really watching it throughout the night, and it was probably 2 or 3 hours later and I had to do it again. So I'm just thinking it's not holding air. I don't really think it has a hole in it. It's not, I was trying to listen, I wasn't hearing any air escaping anywhere. I'm just wondering about the valve. Like, I really, really like the valve system on this pad, but I could see, I could imagine that it could possibly leak, just the design of it. So I'm gonna have to like do some tests at home to see what's up with it. But that's a bummer because I really love this sleeping pad. It's just so comfortable. Like, if it was my Neo Air, I'd probably be more upset that it wasn't performing, because anything that's like my super ultralight stuff that I need for like long backpacking trips, that's like crucial stuff. This is more of like a luxury item to me, or that's what I consider it. Yeah, next week I'm not even gonna take this sleeping pad, but I definitely need to get to the bottom of this, figure out what's going on with it. I'm gonna do a little pour over coffee setup here with my GSI Java Drip. So I like the tarp shelter here. It's really cool, and I actually like the door here, the vestibule, how it's up off the ground. I think I get why they did that. Like, notice like every tent you ever sleep in, you have to like reach all the way down to the ground and your head's like hitting the wall, and it's always like uncomfortable. This being like completely up off the ground, it's right there. Like, my head doesn't have to touch anything, just super easy, quick in and out. I think that's the big pro of having this big hole in the front of your tent, or so to speak. It's really convenient
to get out in the morning and everything. So I like that. I felt like I had plenty of room in here. I was kicking myself. I was like, I should have just slept without the bug net last night. Brr, my hands are freezing. Didn't bring any gloves. It's all right. This coffee should warm it up good, quick. I'm glad I brought coffee. I don't eat breakfast like on a normal day, but I do drink coffee about every morning. Hear a woodpecker over there. Tell you what, it's nice hearing the birds again. Winter just definitely not my favorite season. Something about spring that just like puts me in a good mood. I've definitely always been like a summer person. Like summer's my favorite season, but I just love the transition from winter to spring. It gets me every year. Waking up to the birds this morning, that was a very welcomed sound. I filled that way too full. I didn't think about it. That pot's way bigger than this. I just wanted a lot of coffee. Oh yeah, that's thick. That's a dark brew. It's a bit nutty. I like to chew my coffee. So next weekend, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys where I'm going, because realistically this video isn't even going to come out until after I've already come back from there. So yeah, I'm going with a couple guys down to Virginia. We're going to be doing the Virginia Triple Crown Loop. I think it's like a 35, maybe a little bit more miles through like 3 like scenic areas. You got Dragon's Tooth, McAfee's Knob, and Tinker Cliffs. It's been a while since I've done like a long backpacking trip, something over like 15 or 20 miles. I want to say the last one I did was probably this time last year when I did Shawnee solo. That was a 40-mile loop, which was weird because it was like literally like this week last year that I went and did that trip, and it was so warm and nice. Man, probably should have brought some gloves on this one. It's okay. I got my warm coffee to warm my hands. They get cold quick, that's for sure. So like it's weird, like bringing like not a lot of gear and stuff. Like you guys probably think I'm like crazy. Like it's 30 degrees. Why do you not have a pair of gloves? I sometimes crave like the adaptation that you have to like overcome when you're doing things like this. I like variable changes and like not knowing what's gonna happen. And like even though my hands are cold, like I get to figure out a plan, like how am I gonna do this? And even though it's a bit uncomfortable, like I enjoy the process of figuring things out. Like right now when I'm thinking like how am I gonna roll up my tent and stuff? Well, honestly, I'm probably just gonna like bunch it in a ball, throw it in my my backpack. I'm not gonna like roll anything up. I'm gonna put the quilt in the stuff sack, but everything else just getting shoved down in the pack. Hopefully it can fit because that pack's small. My hands are still gonna be freezing from that. So like I'm trying to think like how am I gonna do this? So my plan is I'm gonna boil up another big thing of water as I'm packing up, and then as I leave, I might even brew coffee. I was thinking about just getting water and just holding the pot like this for a little bit before I go, so my hands will be good and warmed up, because if I just take off hiking with cold hands, they might not really warm up for a while. Yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe brew some coffee before I head out and kind of walk down the trail with my coffee. I'm actually going to I think I'm gonna hike in my puffy coat, which is something I never ever do. I try not to, because as soon as you start sweating, the thing just like soaks through and it's worthless at that point. I've done it before. It only takes about a mile to get it completely soaked, like on your back where your back's touching the pack. But I don't have very long, and I'll just take it nice and slow this morning, and it should be good. All right, well that's that. Just gonna start making my way downtown. Ah! The good thing about the Java Drip, and it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but as it's kind of dripping, it loses a lot of heat. So whenever it's done, it's ready to drink, unlike when you brew coffee at home and you have to wait like 10 minutes because it's so freaking hot. Just gonna walk really slow, take my time, no rush. Just gonna enjoy my coffee down the trail. What do you think? Should I keep it? The grossest thing I've ever kept that I found off a trail was a pair of darn tough socks that were hanging in an AT shelter. Like, they're probably so nasty, but I mean, that's a $20 pair of socks, so I'm kind of ashamed, but I kept them. I took them home, washed them, and they're a good pair of socks. It was just somebody else's sweat and not mine, but yeah, I think I'm gonna pack it out, so alrighty.
Absolutely beautiful morning out here. The sun just warmed it up, like feels like 20 degrees, but I'm also walking in a puffy jacket. But I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here on this one. Stay tuned for the Virginia Triple Crown coming up. Man, been wanting to do that trip for probably 3 years now. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe down below. Hit me up on Instagram too. I'm starting to post a lot more stuff on there. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.